for violating the rights of the dead.
The municipality allegedly buried several bodies in one grave, claiming to have run out of burial space. This is just one of hundreds of complaints lodged with the Commission regarding burials and access to graves. The Commission is embarking on countrywide hearings next week.
The Masango family has been embroiled in a 3-decade-long battle. Archbishop John Masango was buried at the St. John's Apostolic Faith Mission in Katlehong, but his family has been denied access to his grave.
Since our grandfather died in 1984, we have never had the right to visit his grave as a family.
He co-founded the church and lived in an adjacent house.
We can't even take our children there because it's always locked. The church says we must get permission from its leadership.
But all requests have been turned down.
They don't want to see his descendants there. What kind of church is this?
Efforts to speak to the church were met with hostility.
Okay. Yeah, we're supposed to ask for permission first.
The SABC was threatened and ordered to leave the premises. Congregants tried to confiscate another cruise camera. The Commission has already raised the matter with the church.
They should have known that this will come, so they should have that accommodation, without interfering with the ancestors of the other family. Bab Masango, lying the bishop, is an ancestor now to his family, and they fully have the right to practice whatever.
The Commission will be interrogating such issues across the country.
What we're saying is that government and the state has no right to change people's belief systems in order to cut corners for themselves. You shouldn't be saying to communities under any circumstances, yeah, we don't have a grave for you now. If you cremate, your person will cremate this one for free. So it actually says that poor people, their rights can be violated anytime because they cannot afford a private grave. They cannot afford to keep the body at the mortuary for a very long time.
Issues of land ownership and expropriation will also be probed.
What we want to interrogate is how that would work to help communities to get more land, to bury people, but also to help them have access to farms where there are graves in those farms.
The Commission ruffled feathers with its investigation into the abuse of belief systems and the commercialization of religion. It's bound to meet resistance again. The hearings will stretch over 4 months. A report will be tabled in July. A ray of hope for the Masango family. SABC News, Johannesburg.